You ever felt like you just didn't belong? Ever since I can remember, I always felt like I just did not belong here on this earth. What am I doing here? Who are these weird people around me? And it's crazy because when I think about it, I just never felt like I ever fit in. It was always like, what am I doing here? Like, what is the purpose of all this? Like, realistically, what am I doing here? What alien aircraft said it's time to drop her off to this effed up place called Earth? What did I do to deserve this? I must have been bad in my past life if I had a past life, because why would you drop me back on this motherfucking rock? To do absolutely, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to be doing here. Why would you drop me off on this rock? Haven't I done this enough times? Because literally, I feel like I have done this one too many times. Why am I still here on this rock, spinning around with other people that don't know why they're on this rock spinning around? Why am I here? I don't belong here. I promise you. I promise you, I do not belong here. I don't know why I was sent back on this earthly plane. This 3D physical plane. I don't know why I'm back. Maybe my previous life wasn't what I thought it was gonna be, and I felt like I needed to try again. But goddamn, ever since I could remember, I wondered, what am I doing here? I don't belong here. Even amongst friends, I'm still feeling like, what am I doing here? Like, am I in the Twilight Zone? Whatever spaceship dropped me off, pick me the fuck back up, because I don't like it here. I don't. I'm just making do because I'm here. I'm just doing what I can because I'm here. I swear I didn't ask for this. But you know, if there is a God who is looking at me right now, he's probably like, you don't remember? You got amnesia. I know I gave you this amnesia so you could come into this earth without the cheat codes, because you didn't want cheat codes. You wanted to come back and do it right this time, whatever right is, right? Maybe it's my amnesia. Maybe I got past life dementia, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. I don't know why I'm here, okay? And maybe I'm here for no reason. But they always say that jet life to the next life so you can work on the things that you missed in your last lifetime so you can come and level up in this one. So you're basically saying that I'm in a game of Mario. We go from level 1, level 2, oh, I stepped on a mushroom or I stepped in the lava. Now I gotta restart the mission. And now we gotta try to avoid the lava this time. But I swear to you, I never felt like I belonged here. And even to this day, I never felt like I belong here. I've went through bouts of depression, and I don't even really want to say it's depression, because a part of me is like, I don't want to feel like a victim. Maybe even a part of me didn't realize that I was going through a depression when I was going through a depression. Now that I look back at it, I know that certain times I was going through a depression, because it's very difficult to live in a world that you don't feel like was designed for you. It's very difficult to live in a world where you feel like you're not supposed to be there. Like, why was I born into this shit, bro? Like, you really mean that I have to do this thing? You're telling me that I have to do this thing called life that I didn't sign up for without my consent, and I gotta do this until I die, whenever that may be, and at the same time wanting to live and not die? Like, how? That's like an oxymoron, right? That's very contradictory of me to say, like, why am I here? I don't belong here, but I also don't want to die either. That's kind of crazy. But on a serious note, I've always felt like I didn't belong here, and I always felt different than the other kids. I always felt that I was just thinking about things on so much more of a deeper level. And I was such a serious kid in some aspects. I can't say all the way around, because I was definitely goofy. I definitely had fun, but there were certain things that I was very serious about. I was a very deep thinker. I always had to go deeper on things that people would just normally leave alone and take at face value. The answers were good enough for all my other friends. But for me, I had to take it apart, dissect it. Why does this? And why did that go there? And why did this happen this way? And what the fuck are we here for? And after this is all done, do we just fade into blackness? Is it just over with after? You know, I remember being a kid and having these deep thoughts. And just, I don't know if I was depressed thinking about it, but it was very, very dark and sad to me. Just thinking that after this, what happens next? Like, do we just poop and that's it? And then we're gone? Like, how fucking depressing is that? What do you mean? Is we just gone? Because the ego, it was my ego wanting me to stay around, me wanting to live forever, me wanting something to be next. And I still don't know if anything is next. I do know that I've had things happen in my life to where people who I know have passed on, that were very close to me, came back to me in an energetic way. Not gonna say too much, maybe we'll save that for another video. But if I believe in that, then if I'm just taking that as fact, then I do believe that there is an afterlife. But me as a kid, I remember being so sad, just thinking about, what if there's nothing else? What if we just go poof and it's done? And that was so depressing to me, so depressing to think about. And I don't know why I thought all of these depressing things as a kid. What do you call it? Is it melancholic or melancholy? But I had a lot of these dark, deep wonders, dark, deep curiosities. And a lot of it stemmed from, what the fuck am I doing here, dog? Like, honestly, what am I doing here? And now that I'm here, you're telling me I'm gonna die one day? You can't be fucking serious, dog. You mean to tell me that you dropped me off on this fucking rock, told me I gotta go live my life, I gotta do this life thing, it's already hard enough, and then on top of that, on top of all of that shit, now you're telling me that after you do this tough thing called life, then I have to die and just go into the abyss and then I'm no more? That's what you're telling me. I don't want to bring up religion too much because I know that is a heavy topic, and I respect anybody who just tries to do well by other people. As long as you're not trying to do evil or harm onto anybody, I don't care what religion you are, even if you don't have a religion. Because religion or you being religious does not make you a good person, and it does not mean that if you do believe there's a pearly gate, doesn't mean you're getting your ass in the pearly gates just because you go to church. We're not going to get into that whole spiel. But regardless of whatever you believe in or what you don't believe in, it's a very daunting thing to think about what happens next. But there's so many people who come back from NDEs, near-death experiences, and say that there is something on the other side, which is very calming to the soul to hear and know. If I were to bet money on it, if I had to put all my money on whether there is an afterlife or not, I would say there is. Doesn't mean there is, but I would say there is. And I think that is the piece that helps a lot of us stay sane. Because imagine if there was no religion, there was no hope of any afterlife. A lot of people would just go insane. And I know this because I was one of those kids. I was a kid thinking these thoughts. So how many more other kids were probably thinking the same thing? Maybe you thought the same thing, or maybe you still think the same thing. I don't know, watching this video. But it's so much more of a peace knowing that there probably is something after this life. I can't say with 100% certainty because I haven't been there. I'm still here in existence from what I know. I don't even know, is this real? That's another deep ass thing that I think, like, what if What if you've lived your life up to this point? You watching this video, what if you lived your life all the way up to this point? And right now, boom, you wake up and you're a little baby in a stroller, crying and shit, and you're not even who you thought you were. You're like a different race, a different gender, born to a different family. What, like, how would you react in that situation? Let me know. I know I'm steering off topic, but this is what a conversation is. This is fun. This is fun. Sometimes it's gonna get messy, especially when it comes to me, because I like to touch on different things. But let me know what you think in the comment section about that. And I think that's the beautiful thing about life, is that none of us fucking know, bruh. Even the people who specialize in different areas and you feel like they have it all figured out, none of us have it figured out, dog. Nobody can escape death. Nobody really knows what's on the other side. Nobody knows really what we're gonna do. Is our spirit gonna go on a journey? Or are we, like, is this a part of our journey? Like, we really don't know. So that's why it's very important for you not to pedestalize anybody. Of course, show love and respect to people who have more knowledge than you and wisdom than you in this third dimensional realm. But at the end of the day, when our lights get cut off permanently from this 3D existence in this body, we don't know what's gonna happen next. We don't. We don't. But that's the beautiful thing about life, is we don't know. There's so much beauty in the unknown. So much beauty in the unknown. But once again, what the fuck am I doing here? I don't belong here. I remember there was a time in my life where I was like on my monk status. I was in monk mode for real. You know how niggas be like going to monk mode and shit like that? I was literally in monk mode. I would meditate more than I would actually be in real life. I would be doing chakra alignments and just closing my eyes, and I would just like totally be in tune with my inner realm, my inner self. Very much in tune with my spirit and my energy, which was great. But I got to the point to where I had to stop, because I felt so aligned and I felt such at home. Like, I feel like this is not my home. This 3D dimension is not my home. I felt so aligned and I felt so at home that it was scary. You know why I say it was scary? I'm not gonna say I wanted to commit. I don't want to say that I wanted to pull my own plug, so to speak. But I kind of felt like I'm okay with leaving. You know, like I was at that level of comfort and security and just calmness. I'm so whole and complete that I felt like there's nothing more for me to do here. I don't need to make money. I don't need to participate in this shit. I saw behind the illusion. All of this is an illusion. I saw behind all of that. And I realized that nothing even matters. All that matters is me being at one in peace with myself, knowing the ultimate truth that I am everything. I am ultimate consciousness. And I was such on a high vibration that if I got any higher, nigga, son, I was about to be up out of here. And I remember making a decision. I don't remember exactly when, but I remember being so aligned that it was scary, to the point to where I said, in my mind, I said, please put struggle in my life. I know this sounds insane, but now that I think about it and I'm reminiscing on this, now I understand why I've had some of the challenges I've had. Because I was so on a high and I was so at home and at peace in my soul that I wasn't ready for this thing to end. Whatever this thing that I was thrown into, I wasn't ready for this to end just yet. And I knew, get any higher, I'm out of here. Because I was so at peace. But I said, no, I'm not gonna do that. I have loved ones, you know, my parents and everything like that. And I said, listen, I wanna say make a pact with myself. I made a pact with myself, but I made a decision that I said, hey, I asked God or the universe, I said, look, can you put some strife and struggle in my life? Because I wanna be here. I wanna be here. You know, and I feel too good right now, and I feel like I don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying? I know that sounds crazy. And I don't know if I've ever admitted this before, but I've never wanted to off myself or pull my own plug, like I said. But I felt so free and so at home within myself that I was ready to go. But then again, another piece of me, like, I don't know, maybe it was a subconscious thing, but something in me was like, nah, you need to keep going. You're not done yet. You know, that's the feeling I got was, no, you can't go yet. You're not done yet. But I felt like I had achieved level 1052, whatever anybody who thinks success is this thing, that's what success was to me. I felt like I succeeded and I had beat the game of life when I had reached that internal happiness and peace and wholeness and completeness. It wasn't about how much money I made or any of those things, any of these worldly desires. It was about me being totally whole within, totally at peace within and with the universe and with all things. That was me beating the game, bruh. So now I'm free roaming. You know how you beat GTA and now you can just free roam and just go on missions? That's the part of my life that I'm in right now. So I've already won, to be completely honest. I've already won this thing. And I know how I can win again. I just go within. How you gonna win when you ain't right within? Shout out Lauryn Hill. But I say all this to say that I don't belong here. I've never belonged here. And I'm just so glad that I'm at the point in my life now to where I can just be free to be me and actually enjoy both the material and the spiritual, what they both have to offer. Because I wasn't just thrown here for no reason. I was thrown here to, of course, discover who I am at the core level and at the soul level, but also experience what physical human beings can experience. Love, time with friends, family, of course, the nice cars, material things too. I'm here to experience it all. So when I leave here, I can really be like, hey, we did this shit, man, and I enjoyed myself. So now that we get to the end of this video, maybe that's what it's all for. Maybe I do belong here after it's all said and done. And I obviously have to belong here if I'm here, right? But let me know if I evoked or provoked some thoughts. Drop them down in the comment section down below. Let me know, can you relate to this, how I felt in any of the things that I've said in this video? Let me know where you are in life. Have you ever felt like I felt at any stage in what I talked about in this video? But I feel like this was a good one. This was a really good one, man. I'm gonna continue these videos because I can talk about these type of things all day, every day. And I wanted to start a channel to where I can really just put my ideas in video form, not just on paper, but on video form. And we can have interactions and deep talks about things that I know everybody won't want to talk about, but my people would want to talk about, you know? So let's do that in the comments. Let's go.